the weakness of this being starting out last week, ending today, this hasn't been tested out in the real world. There are no students here, so but in the beginning of the next semester, I will be joining a new course on foundations of innovations, where we teach strategic management of technological innovation. And I will share my screen. Let's see, you get that one. Hope that you can see something. So
we see it now. Yeah.
Perfect. It's a course with engineering students, of course. That's the whole purpose. It's a bachelor course on the 3rd semester, and with a focus on strategic management of technological innovation. And usually we have 30 to 40 students. That varies, but thereabouts. In the experience is that it's a little frustrating to enter into these processes with engineering students, because they are very fixed in their ways, and we need to do some market analysis, and when we know what the customers want, we can engineer it, design it, and then we can put it out there in the marketplace, and then that's the innovation process. And to try to make them more open to the process, and therefore hopefully learn more in the run of the course. My idea is to start out with a workshop, and the idea of the workshop is to make the students aware that the innovation strategy process reaches beyond just getting these ideas and trying to get them to the market. This very streamlined approach, and I'm currently on this. I have focused on the divergent phase, because of course the whole idea of the course is to teach the students some of the things they need for this, but to take this up front and try to make the students realize that they have quite set ways. They have their own ideas on what this is, and then try to get them to think more broadly. So we are definitely in the divergent phase. I have a workshop that has worked before, but the outcome hasn't been as rich as we might have thought it could be. You can see my nice poster here behind. That's one of the things, and we introduced this idea of the innovation process as a long and winding road, with an idea phase, some design, conceptualization, development, then test and prototyping, and finally a commercializing phase. So very briefly, we don't go into any org theory or strategic theory in general, but just this very general image to frame the workshop. And then we have had a brainstorming session where the students has to come up with frames of mind, innovation philosophies on 3 different levels, because they have ideas, even though they are maybe not aware of them. So I will show you plan B, because of course the idea is to get the students to present what they think. But if they don't present anything that we can use for something, I have a plan B. So innovation might be a special task only for experts. That could be an innovation philosophy on the organizational level. On a management level, we have something like innovative leaders accept a large degree of unpredictability. Or on the personal level, to be innovative is a rare and inert gift that you have. So we try to make the students fill out with their own comments, and on the back of the card is you can write pros and cons to this, so we can make a discussion. And then we use these ideas that have come up, and the problem is that they often are not as good as we would like, but use the ideas to discuss and write a nice sheet of paper on how can we motivate employees thinking with the knowledge we have on our philosophy. How do we assure that the organization have the resources when we consider what we have thought of on the organizational level, and how can managers motivate and catalyze the process, knowing what we know about our ideas of leadership. So that is how it was. But as I said, the whole idea or the workshops, they work. We do get something, but with this feeling that it could be better, it could be more rich, and we often end up with our plan B statements as the main ones, and that's not the intended outcome. So having the course last week made me think that we might use some of the techniques here, and one of the things that I really it's very basic, but I've never really thought of it in the way that Patricia presented it. This uploading phase, the phase where you present the ideas that you have before we start the process, because I can definitely see her arguments that then you have your one idea, that is what you introduce into the brainstorming process, and then in the discussion, as I said, these are third semester students, they know each other, so there will be group leaders and so on established in that group, and it might be hard to make them work with this. So I've introduced a uploading phase in the very beginning of the divergent phase, and I'm not sure of the method yet, but I'm thinking of something like flash fiction or 1-minute essays to make this process quick, but write 3 essays in some form on how do you see the innovation philosophy of a given case company on an org level, management level, and an individual employee level. And based on that, I hope we will have some ideas that we then can use in a assumption busting session. That is on the website. This is a technique that belongs in the divergent phase on the association level. So a bit into the process, but where we use the fiction that we have just written as a starting point for the assumptions that we have. I'm assuming as we do this probably as a class session in the workshop, try to derive the meaning from the different essays. We will make a list of assumptions that are there in the statements. Maybe when we start to develop, we will make assumptions even when we start to bust and reverse the assumptions, and then try to add to the list, bust, and then solve by asking what if. So hopefully we can make the students see that it might be a good idea to say, well, the employees have to be innovative. We will make an ideation program where our employees can add their ideas, and then we will have ideas for new innovations. But what if the employees don't want to be innovative? What if they are just extremely good at doing what they do? I might be the best welder in the world, and I don't want to innovate my company's product. I just want to do the next difficult welding that I'm supposed to do, and I want to show again that I'm the best welder in the world. And I don't want to innovate my company. I just want to do my job well. And all of that could hopefully be put across to the students in this process, that we have to work with the assumptions that we have, and we have to see if we can work past them. So that's the idea that I have for now. And the fun part is that as I'm working with this, of course you can put this divergent, convergent thinking into this specific workshop, but you could also try to introduce processes over the course that could probably make the first part, there will be a small assignment in the end. So if we try to work it as a divergent, convergent phase, trying to narrow down and synthesize all of these assumptions and ideas we get in the initial part of the course, it can probably work across a full semester as well. So that was it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ian. This is great to see. I mean, I think what you've done here is that you have looked at what you already did, and you already had some cards to sort of motivate them to think about things, right? And also some open questions that they could think about. But I think your focus on this uploading is really important here, because people tend to, as you say, have some things they would like to bring in, or some darlings that they would like to work with, or whatever it could be. And here they actually get the chance, as I understood, to have an individual session to begin with, right? Inspired, for example, by flash fiction, which is writing about the future, but it could be a very near future, I guess. How do we, next month make our employees do more of this and that and so on, right? And that means that now they're more free. They have, you could say, cleared their brains, and now they can start working at a more open level, basically, right?